Can you work with a gnarly old brush like this? Look at that. It looks like it's been forgotten for 100 years. No, it is just a brush that I've only been using in this past year. And that's the way they get after they become a little bit abandoned. They've left to dry with paint in them, and they become quite gnarly. But it may come as a surprise to many of you that this is one of my favorite brushes. Just look at the way those textured hairs, full of dried, half-dried, slightly soaked, very crude, rough bristles. They just give up the paint in a different kind of a way. If I've learned one thing in my many, many years as an artist, well, first of all, there are really no rules. Rules are meant to be broken, but when it comes to the tools that we use, anything's fair game. I remember somebody asked me once, do you need specific brushes? What brushes should I bring when I come to your workshop? Is there a brand name that I should buy? Or should I get them from this store or that store? I always like to comically answer, if you come with Q-tips, if you come with a toothbrush, and forget all of your other brushes, we can make something out of that. And it's mostly true, but the reality is you need some brushes, some decent ones. And how much money you spend, it's really up to you. But art, every day, all over the world, is created using whatever humble tools the artist has access to. It's not the tools, but it's the hand that creates it. It's not even so much about the colors, although, I digress, colors are very important, but you can start your day out with a very limited palette. Maybe you've got paint left over from the day before, and rather than let it all dry and be discarded, why not just put it on a canvas? And that's what I'm doing here today. I've got paint left over from something I was working on a couple of days ago, and I just hate to see it dry up. And so I get my gnarly old brush, and I use its textures, and I use its bristles that are bent and broken, and I create something with it. And all of those little textures, they leave their own little signature on the surface, and they tell their own little story. You'll notice that I'm using the same brush throughout this entire painting. Well, I'll bring in a little detail brush at the end just to do some highlights and to fine-tune some things, but well, this old brush, while it looks like it's seen better days, is actually in the prime of its life. It's kind of like us, isn't it? We may feel like we're old and worn out, like we've got nothing left to offer. But everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a place. And everybody's voice can and should be heard. And the older they get, the older we get, the richer we become. I grant it, speaking as an artist, we may not become wealth rich, we not become fiscally rich, but become rich in wisdom. Partly from all those mistakes we made. And Lord knows I've lined up quite a few in my life. But what we bring to the palette as an artist is a voice full of reason and understanding. And when we bring to the palette a gnarly old brush and some paint that's almost discarded and almost forgotten, before the painting even begins, we bring a message to the world that you're not forgotten, that there remains a purpose for you right until the very end. So don't give up. Just like this brush on this canvas with this old drying paint palette can render something that brings peace and brings wisdom to the world. It will make somebody's day. It will give somebody's life a little bit more meaning today. So simple. And here we're going to bring in a little fine brush that we'll just set up some accents and some proper points of reference just to bring the whole painting into focus. These old trees, they stand there in the water's edge, and they watch the years pass, and they survive, and they endure. Once again, just like us. Now, I want to just take a moment here and say thank you to you. Because out of your busy day, you've taken a moment to hang out with me here. And I hope that I've added some value to your life in these few moments. And if you've really enjoyed these few moments, maybe you could take a few seconds more and hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, these days, that's how social media algorithms, well, that's how they know you're there. And when you're there and they know it, they'll show it to others. And to two others, and to two others, and to two others. I'm so excited. We've passed 1,000 subscribers. Wow. That's awesome. And you can help us head to 2,000 subscribers. Just tap the subscribe button. But let's forget about all that right now, and let's just talk about this as we wrap it up. I want to give you one more little bit of advice. Don't forget to sign your name. You know, you did this little thing, and who knows where it will land. But it's a good thing if it always has a way of pointing back to the person who painted it, so that someone will know where it came from, and you won't be forgotten. So put your little name on there. If you have a weird one like mine, MCAFFEE, yeah, that's a strange one. Well, I'm going to take this second to thank you again. And by all means, leave your comments. I'd love to read them. And I respond wherever I can. And we'll see you again next time, right here on the Robert Painter on YouTube.